So today at 5 o'clock, Turkey against Wales. We're delighted to say a warm welcome to John Hartson once again. Good morning to you, John. How are you keeping?
Good morning. I'm very well, thank you.
It strikes me that the point against Switzerland was a very good point with the context of the performance and the context of the performance of Switzerland in particular.
I think you're absolutely right. I was actually taken aback a little bit by how well Switzerland played. I thought they got good possession of the ball early on. They controlled, I would say, probably 3/4 of the first half. And then, of course, they took the lead as well. And then Wales did really well. I thought, they showed great spirit to get back into it, considering, a lot of other teams may have folded. Switzerland are probably thinking, well, we should have gone on and got a second or maybe a third. But talking to the guys here as well, down with ITV, they said that there was a few Wales players, like, for instance, Joe Allen needed minutes in his legs. The likes of Joe Morrell as well hadn't played an awful lot of football. Joe Rodon as well, the big centre-half. 3 Joes in the Welsh team. Can you believe that? He hadn't played an awful lot for Spurs. Robert Page went with the back four, played Kiefer Moore up top, the lad who's done really well, 20 goals this season for Cardiff. Scored a great header, brilliant movement. So over the piece, when he put all that together, it was a really good point. You look at yesterday, Scotland v Czech Republic have failed to take anything from that game. One or two other teams have got beat. Poland got beat last night as well. And 3 points can take you through. 3 points could possibly take you through. So I think it's really good for momentum that Wales didn't lose that game. They've got a point. Now, it makes tonight's game against Turkey, all the more so important. I feel it's a must-win game tonight for Wales because Italy on Sunday is going to be extremely difficult. Playing Italy almost away in Rome. Italy have been fortunate to have played all their games in Rome. So that will be a very, very hard game. So I'm thinking, against Turkey, got hammered against Italy, didn't look too good a team for me, looked as if they can be got at. So big 3 points at stake, and I think it's a must win. I really do, even this early in the tournament.
So how do you go about rattling that Turkey cage once again? Is it the same team? Do you go with the 4-2-3-1 with the same players once again?
Well, I don't think Daniel James was a threat down the left-hand side, especially early in the game. He looked as if he stretched the Switzerland defenders. He got great pace. Gareth Bale, okay, he's done great things for Wales over the years, but I think he would admit that as the tournament goes on now, he'll hope to play a lot better and have more of an effect on the game than what he had against Switzerland. Aaron Ramsey came into it in the last 20 minutes. So I think there's several of our players that will improve. He may well bring sort of Ethan Ampadu back into the team just to shore it up a little bit, at the back or sitting in front of the back four. He's a big physical size. And then maybe, you lose somebody like a Joe Morrell and you may play, closer to a 4-2-4 or something like that, 4-2-4-1. So, for me, it's just a case of, 4-2-4, isn't it, with the goalie? That's 11. So you may well go and do that, But as I said, it's going to be a really difficult game. Turkey are a crazy football nation, and they'll have an awful lot of fans in Baku, Azerbaijan, very, very close to Turkey. So they will travel very, very strongly.
What's your sense on how strong this Welsh unit is then to, I guess, withstand the wall of noise that are going to come from what is essentially a home support tonight? Like, this was a very tight-knit group, obviously, in 2016, but you talk about Morrell there. Ward in goals, hasn't played a lot of football with his club. Kiefer Moore, obviously, almost a cult hero with Cardiff City. These seem to be guys who are playing above themselves. Is that fair to say, John?
Well, let's not forget that we qualified over a year ago. We beat Hungary in Cardiff 2-0. Aaron Ramsey scored both goals. So we haven't gone through all the rigmarole of playing in playoffs or winning on penalty shootouts. Wales qualified over a year ago. We were ready to go, basically. So the qualification performances were fantastic to get into the Euros. We did it really early. Put our marker down in terms of, right, we're there. We've had a few issues as well. As you know, Robert Page has come in from doing the coach level now. He's making all the big decisions. He's now a manager. And I think when you play for your country and you get opportunities, you've got to play over, above yourself, if you like. That's the standard. International football is very, very difficult, and there's no easy teams out there. All right, Turkey will be difficult opposition, but Italy made them look probably poorer than what they really are, because Italy in Rome, first game to start the tournament, the pressure was there on them to go and win and have a great performance, and it was. They won 3-0. It was a great performance, but you look back at 2016, there's a couple of players that we're missing. We're missing the experience of Joe Ledley. We miss the experience, and he was a rock, by the way, was Ashley Williams. He captained the team to the semi-final. You miss the leadership and, that experience that Ashley Williams would have brought. Centre forward-wise, no Hal Robson-Kanu, no Sam Vokes. So, I think we've got some good young players. You've got Levitt, who's at Manchester United. The likes of, Harry Wilson, Dave Brooks, Dan James. There's several young players, and there's Connor Roberts, who played right back against Switzerland the other day. You've got Neco Williams, who hasn't featured yet, who's a really fine player at Liverpool. So we've got a good balance, really. But it all boils down to results, doesn't it? I could be talking to you today, and then tomorrow, all of a sudden, Wales are staring down a barrel. They've got to go and get something. If they don't win tonight, even if they draw, it might not be enough, because they go to Italy at the weekend, then probably needing to win. And of course, how does Switzerland, they've still got Turkey to play. They've still got Italy to play. So a lot of it will depend on who takes points off each other. But all Wales can do is take care of their own sort of what's going in with their all they can do is control what's happening in their camp, within their own group. They can't control what happens when Italy play against Switzerland, or when the Swiss play against Turkey. You can't control that. You can only control what you were doing. And I think Robert Page has done very well. And as I said, he's got the scope to change it as well. Harry Wilson could play, that sort of Kiefer Moore role, if you like, and they could look more to play around the corner and little nice passes, and get on the ball more when you haven't got that option then of hitting the big focal point, Kiefer Moore. But if I was him, I wouldn't want to come out of the team. Yeah. He just rescued Wales a point. He's a big hero now in Wales, obviously, with all the supporters. So I'd want to stay in the team. So I don't see an awful lot of changes. Maybe just Ampadu might just come in.
Does the headband that Kiefer Moore was wearing the other day make your heading more powerful or something? Should he keep it on even if his head is perfectly fine tonight?
I don't know about that, but the challenge, obviously, which he went in and hurt his head. He drew a little bit of blood, so I think the protocols now, when there is a little bit of blood, then you have to cover it up. And but no, you look like Rambo, didn't you? I mean the real Rambo, not Aaron Ramsey. I mean the real Rambo.
The real Rambo, absolutely. Well, I would say Aaron Ramsey is the real Rambo, to be quite honest. So how's it going to go tonight, John? Give us your prediction.
I think Wales will win. Even if I didn't think it, I would say it. So I think it's one of those games. It's like being live on television. You nail it when you're live. When you're doing rehearsals, you're like, no, so how's this going to go? You're a little bit lackadaisical. But then when you go live, you go bang and you tend to nail it. And I think tonight, where it's a must-win game, Wales have, won so many must-win games, over the past, in terms of playoffs and quarterfinals and everything else. And the last European Championships, we beat Slovakia, lost to England, and in the last game we had to beat Russia, and we hammered Russia in the best performance we've done for years, beat them 3-0 on a night where you had to win. So I'm sure that will be mentioned, the Russia game in 2016. But I wish the lads well. You know, they're a nice group of players. Several of the players have not got an awful long left in terms of international football, some of the senior ones. And obviously this is a great experience for the younger players as well to come through, enjoy the experience of being at a major tournament and then take that on in the future. So Wales continue to be strong and competitive for future international tournaments.
John, best of luck to you and to the nation of Wales in general tonight. We'll chat to you again soon. Thanks a million.
My pleasure. All the best.